What's up, everybody, in SC Fireside Chats land? I am one of your hosts, Adam Cook, and I'm here, as always, with my better half, Tony Spain. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, after a Gamecock win, it's always good.
I know, right? They really pulled that one out of their posteriors, because we don't curse here.
Or try not to.
We try not to, but occasionally it slips out. But yeah, we pulled that one out of our butts, not unlike a magician pulls a rabbit out of a hat. And I gotta tell you, I was a little worried about that. That first half was bad.
Well, there was no offense.
I know.
I mean, it was. I mean, watching that offense was like watching the Biden administration.
I know. Because
bad.
they're just floundering around, trying to pretend like they're doing good.
Right.
And they aren't. They aren't. But unlike the Biden administration, they pulled it out at the end.
That's right.
You know, but that's not
their pullout game was good.
Their pullout game was good.
Yep.
And I don't want to even go into all the people who are parts of the Biden administration that I think their parents should have pulled out. I don't want to talk about that. You know, but I'm just saying, I think we won it in the end. So I know we're probably going to lose to Georgia. And I know I'm never going to hear the end of it from my stepfather, who is a filthy Georgia Bulldogs fan.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about it, too.
Cesspool of the South.
Yeah, I don't even care about the fact that he's having sex with my mom. You know what I have a problem with? He made her into a Bulldogs fan. And now she's also a Baptist.
Oh, man.
And as a Lutheran, I can't handle that.
Hmm.
I can't handle that at all. But I don't care about the sex part because I'm a filthy pervert. So.
Well, this we know.
Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah,
all right.
That's not a secret.
Love you, Mom. So, anyway, yeah, how do you think we're going to do in the rest of the year?
Well, I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I like Shane Beamer. I think he's the right guy.
They pulled it out in the second half.
Well, Muschamp would have lost this game.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It would have been when ECU went up 14-0.
Yeah.
The Muschamp team would have laid down, and it would have ended up being a massacre.
They would have cried in a fetal position. Yeah. I was actually talking to some people at the bar, and they were saying the only good, or I was saying anyway, and they agree with me. The only good thing that Muschamp ever did was Parker White. He actually let that guy mature into an excellent field goal kicker. He's very good. And good job, Parker White. You saved us once again.
Yeah, he definitely gets the game ball today.
Yeah, he gets the game ball. And I got to admit, like, it was right for Muschamp to let that guy. I guess it was like nerves. When he started out, he just couldn't handle the nerves. But then he got used to it. Yeah. And now he's very good. He's excellent. He's made a punt, or he made a field goal from 50 yards away. It's very impressive.
Well, and the defense played well also because, I mean, obviously going into halftime, you know, without the defense, it'd be 21-0 ECU.
Oh, God, yeah.
And instead, it's 14-17.
Right.
Yeah, 14-7.
14-7, yeah.
Yeah, going into halftime. So that was good. The defense played very well today.
Yeah, and I think Nolan needed to get his confidence back with some of those long bombs. It's like, oh, wait, you can throw the ball.
Right.
So try
and I thought,
more.
Actually, and a lot of people are down on him today, but I thought he played exceptionally well.
Well, it's sort of like, I mean, as many people can probably tell, I'm a Joe Rogan fan, and they had Teddy Atlas on there, who was a boxing coach for Mike Tyson, and a bunch of other greats, and he talked about why Mike Tyson was not really a fighter in his mind, because you got to come back. You can't just dominate the whole thing. You've got to get your butt whipped and then come back in the later rounds to be a real fighter. Okay. So hopefully this team can be a bunch of fighters.
Yeah, well, they were definitely a bunch of fighters today.
Very good.
For sure.
So take that, East Carolina. You know, you lose. But that was a valiant struggle. I mean, they dominated in the first half, and they were fighting all the way to the end. I was worried all the way up to the end. Yeah. But, so, I mean, East Carolina, you know.
I thought that's the way the game went is kind of how I thought it was going to go. I picked a 28-27 Gamecock victory. Yeah. And I figured we would be behind most of the game.
Right.
And we'd figure out a way to win it in the end.
Why do you think we were behind?
Well, because I think a lot of people underestimate ECU. Yeah. It's a much better football school than what they ever give credit credit for. Right. And the last 3 times that we've played them, I mean, I think it's been decided by less than a touchdown.
Wow.
So they always play us well. Yeah. And so I figured it'd be probably the same.
That's true.
And they pride themselves. They pride themselves on
playing 4 quarters.
Teams like us coming into their house and getting beat.
Yeah.
So.
And let's not forget that they have uniforms that would make Prince jealous, because it's all purple and gold.
Yeah.
If Prince was alive today, he'd be like, I want to represent that team, because they love purple. Mm-hmm. So that's their thing. But I'm glad this happened today, because it is a sad day. Yep. It is the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Need a little pick-me-up.
I needed a little pick-me-up, especially after that debacle in Afghanistan, which is ongoing.
Oh, my God.
I mean, when are we going to get our people out? You know, like the Taliban or however you pronounce it. This is America, nobody cares. But, when are we going to get our people out? They're blocking planes from leaving. Have we got any of them out yet? I haven't actually.
I heard this morning that I think two
got out.
2 got out.
Okay.
I don't know the exact numbers or whatever, but I don't know. That's a very interesting situation.
Yes.
And I think that's going to develop into a bigger story later.
Yeah, after there's a successful terrorist attack.
Well,
somewhere.
It's going to develop into that where I think we're going to find out some interesting things about what the State Department's actually doing. That is going to make you sick in the stomach.
Are they a State Department is my question.
Yeah,
the same way with the Biden administration. I mean, I didn't think the election was stolen. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine.
Right.
I don't personally think that.
I don't necessarily think it was stolen.
Right.
I think they bent the rules
as best they could.
Right, the best they could, using COVID to their advantage.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that.
That's why they lost their minds over all these election integrity laws that are being passed, because now they can't do that anymore.
Right.
So, the thing, I don't think it was stolen, but is there in a Biden administration? I think it's run by, Dr. Jill Biden and whoever else is in charge of any one of those particular decisions. You can see that, I think, through the absolute incompetence.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you pull the civilians out first, and then you pull out the military. And I'm going to do it with the sling on, because I don't care how much it hurts, okay? It hurts me more in my soul.
He's doing this pain for America.
Dude, no pain, no gain, all right? I'm playing through the pain with all of this. So it's craziness, man. It's nuts. And the Democrats should keep trying to spin that turd, and it is just not working.
Yeah.
His approval rating is in the low 40s at best, I think. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch, especially because I know that you yourself did serve.
Right.
And I mean, no offense, but I'm sure you might have lost a few friends.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
My buddy Sean, who was Airborne Ranger,
yeah,
he lost some friends over there, and I've avoided talking to it with him. Love you, Sean, but I don't want you to lose your mind. I don't want you to lose your job.
Sure.
Because it's got to be a lot to deal with.
Well, and I still have a lot of contacts at Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
With the 82nd and in that community, and which is why I'm saying what I said about the State Department. I can't go into all the details.
Right.
But I'm telling you, there's going to be some very bad things that will come to light.
Really. As
we go on, in my opinion.
Wow.
But let's go. Let's talk a little bit about the 20-year anniversary of 9/11.
Well,
because that is.
Yeah. Fortunately, someone told that senile racist idiot that he should not give public remarks. Okay, for 2 reasons. Number one, nobody's going to appreciate that. And number two, he's going to give you that dead stare where it was like, while he's giving the remarks. It's not a good look. Mm-hmm. So he did some, but even when he did his recorded remarks, he was more worried about conservatives being a terror threat than the Taliban and everything.
Well, I found it interesting the other day that he seemed to have stronger language towards governors.
Right.
Certain governors, and we all know who they are.
Right. Abbott and DeSantis.
Right, and then what he had towards the Taliban.
Yeah.
Leaving Afghanistan, I find that disheartening. But again, I mean, we need to just take a step back of how we got here.
Take a breath.
Because 20 years ago, the biggest terrorist attack on American soil happened, and the next 20 years we fought this war in Afghanistan. And I mean, whether you thought the war was right, wrong, whatever, I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that needs to be remembered. And I think the biggest take from the entire thing is, let's not forget the American fighting spirit.
Right.
You know, like Todd Beamer and Jeremy Glick, and I can't remember.
Well, they call them like the Pineapple Express, but they actually went in and got people out.
But I'm talking about the United 93 flight that they took over. You know, the terrorists.
Right. Caused them to actually
crash the plane into a Pennsylvania field.
Yeah.
But you know, it's that American spirit that has made this country great. You know, for over 240 years.
Yeah.
And I really feel like we're losing that right now, which is, you know, I don't know.
I'm not that pessimistic, but I do share your anxiety.
Yeah.
Which is, we gotta like keep that going, which is why I brought the Pineapple Express thing.
Sure, that's a great story.
They ignored orders like, no, we're going in and we're getting people. If you don't want to help us, screw you.
Yeah.
And they went out and did it. Good job, guys.
They did.
They're awesome.
And they're still doing it.
From my
understanding.
They're gonna get more done in the federal government right now.
Yeah.
Which really brings to light why the founding fathers are all about limiting the power of the federal government.
Yeah.
Because why are you gonna like? It's like one of the great things about Western military discipline is like people at the lower ranks could take the initiative without needing to get, you know, orders from on high and everything like that. Like I can't remember the name of the battle, but it's where the Romans were fighting the Macedonians, and they won because the right side went up, the left side went down, and one centurion was like, "Oh, there's their rear. Okay, 100 guys follow me." And they attacked it, and they won. So it was, you know, it's a better way to do it, a little bit more decentralized. You know, that's why I know people don't like when you bring up the Nazis, but that's why the Nazis lost, because they were afraid to take the initiative. So
that's part of the American spirit as well.
Right.
You know, I mean, any long-term conflict that we've been involved in, after when they go back and do the history of it, the commanders on the other side always said that the Americans don't follow their own doctrine.
Right.
Which they don't.
They just do it.
They don't, because there is that. It's the heart and core of the NCO creed.
Right.
You know, basically you will do what you think needs to be done in the absence of orders.
And then after that, you worry about talking to the officers about it. Like, this is why I did that.
And most of the other countries in the world do not follow that.
But that makes it slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
It's like you're trying to squeeze. It's like you're trying to choke Play-Doh, and it keeps going through your fingers.
Right.
You know, you just can't stop it. You know. So I agree with that completely, and unfortunately, you know, things are looking bad right now. But let's not forget that they looked bad in the late 70s too, and we came back from that. It looked bad in the early days of the war and World War II, but we came back from that too. Civil War, same thing. The fighting spirit will prevail, I think. I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
It's just right now, it's one of those moments where you have to like sort of hunker down and let the woke progressive hurricane blow over, and then you rebuild.
Yeah.
So
well,
you're welcome for that, Floridians. So.
I don't know. I hope your optimism is right. I want to believe that it's right.
Right.
But I just don't know that after 9/11, you know, we had the George W. Bush bullhorn moment.
Right.
Right. At Ground Zero.
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah,
and then the waving of flags throughout the entire country.
Giuliani being on SNL.
Right. You know.
And
right.
drag.
Right. I mean, everyone's basically like rallying behind America.
Yeah.
You know, like go America. You know, whatever. And that is probably the most unifying moment that I've seen in this country in my lifetime.
Right.
But it didn't last long, you know. So there's that. But I don't know that I've ever seen a time in my lifetime where we are as divided as we are right now, and that worries me. And it's not even the division part of it that worries me. It's the I don't even want to have a conversation with you because we can't agree on ideology. Right. That's what I'm really worried about.
Well, that's a valid concern.
Because what that leads to is hatred towards other human beings.
And people saying the people they disagree with are basically the same as the Taliban and all that.
Yeah, I mean that is not conductive for a good society. It's like you live in two Americas right now, and you have Joe Biden, who's the president. Sort of. We don't really know who's.
Sort of.
I don't think he's running anything, but then you have Trump over here.
Stirring up conflict.
And he's basically like campaigning, but he's not running for anything.
Yeah, I heard he's going to, but if you're either.
But what I'm getting at though is it's like they're jockeying for leadership, right? And it's troubling to me. I don't like it. The reason being is because you're literally dividing the country in half to where one side hates the other side, and eventually, at some point, because that's what humans do.
Well, it's like Solomon
we start fighting.
It's like Solomon.
I mean, really, really fighting.
Yeah, it's like Solomon dividing the baby.
Like Civil War kind of fighting.
It's like Solomon dividing the baby, but there's no wisdom behind it.
Yeah, no, it's exactly that's 100% completely accurate.
See, sometimes I get lucky.
Yeah. Wisdom is so missing.
Yeah, I know. Well, because with wisdom, you need common sense.
Yeah.
And that's not taught in schools these days. We don't teach our children about that. But I don't think we're going to come to a civil war, and the reason for that is we are not the equal of those men, both North and South. Those were men. Okay, they were willing to die for whatever they believed in, no matter how bat crap insane it was. They were ready to die. I know for one thing, I'm not going to be on any front lines. I'll tell you that right now. If a war breaks out, I'm headed for Belize. Okay, I want to pull a Mark Twain, and head out to the frontier, but there's no frontier anymore. So I've thought about this, and this is one of the burdens of being...
Space is the final frontier.
Well, that's true, but we have yet to gird up our loins and head out there. So I look at it like, what I'm going to do, and this is sad to being a South Carolinian, you have to think about this. But I was like, what if my state seceded again? I'm headed for Belize, okay, because it's warm there and they speak English. So I'm sticking there. Plus, I have a passport, so there's no way they can deny me getting in. And I'll be all right. And I will watch all of you kill yourselves. And I'm not participating in that. I'm not going to, help my family self-destruct. But neither am I going to participate in destroying them. Because I'm not actually a human being. And so we'll see how that goes. You know why I'm not worried about it, though? It's because of the decentralized system that we have. Which brings up Joe Manchin, apparently the most powerful American in the country today. The most powerful man. That hillbilly from West Virginia controls this entire country right now. It's insane. Because he threw a little monkey wrench in the infrastructure plans of the Democrats by saying he will not accept anything more than $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. On the one hand, you got to be sad about the fact that we're literally talking about trillions of dollars as being the ceiling. That should be bad enough.
Right.
That's bad enough. But I think he might have destroyed the entire infrastructure deal. I mean, I don't know yet, but I think the progressives will be willing to take no loaf over half a loaf. Because they have plenty of tofu in their refrigerators. So they don't care about that loaf. But they're not really interested in compromising at all. So I wonder if this is all dead now. If it's dead in the water.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch that. But you got to wonder, where does that leave Joe Manchin in the party structure?
Yeah.
Because the Democrats now hate him.
Oh, yeah.
The Republicans don't really want him. but they're thankful for him.
Right.
Right? So, you know.
He's the thankless independent right now. He's never going to get credit for it. You know? Or Sinema, or all the other moderate senators who are hiding behind him. Because there are plenty of people who don't want to go this far.
Well, let me also say, though, I think he's doing the right thing.
Right, yeah. We love you, Joe, for this.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't agree with Joe, obviously. But, you know, on this
I don't like that chiseled jaw, to be honest with you. It's too chiseled. It's too perfect. Come on, man. Save some for everybody else. You know, I think it's a little...
But you know what? I think he's the last of the Mohicans of the Democrat Party.
Right.
You know, that actually says, you know, like the JFK Democrat.
We're talking about people who actually have respect for blue-collar America.
Right. Well, I'm talking like, you know, don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Right. Me and my girl were talking about the other day. I was like, I would give my left nut right now for a JFK.
Yeah.
Or a Dwight D. Eisenhower, or failing that, an LBJ, because at least you knew.
I'd take a Harry Truman.
A Harry Truman? Yes.
I mean, seriously.
Boom.
Yeah.
Harry Truman, we miss you, brother. Yeah, no, I would FDR too, because he was a power-hungry madman.
Yeah.
But he at least loved his country and believed in it, even though, you know, it's sort of the same thing as Caesar.
I think he had bad judgment.
Yeah.
But,
it was like, what if Caesar had polio?
Right.
That was FDR. Fortunately, polio took care of that. But, you know, it's like, I feel like right now, like, Manchin and Sinema are the only ones reining in the Democrats from their own folly. Because if you think about it, like, if you remove the filibuster by 2022, with Republicans, probably, I think they can control both chambers. The way things are right now, Democrats are terrified of a wipeout, and you should be, because it's terrible. Like they're going to get destroyed in 2022, and so if you remove the filibuster, Republicans are just going to go hog wild, pun intended, you know, because they are all disgusting corporate pigs. And I'm just saying, like, they will destroy whatever Democrats want to do. They'll wipe it out without having to get to 60 votes. You know?
Right.
So I think every Democrat out there should be on their knees kissing Joe Manchin's butt right now, because he's saving you right now.
For saving the party?
Yeah, saving the party from complete destruction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's valid.
Yeah. We hate you, though, Mitch McConnell. You suck.
Yeah, I'm not Mitch McConnell.
Oh, yeah. I used to like him, but the past 2 years, it's like, wow, I thought he was like playing three-dimensional chess, and really
he's the example of somebody who's been in politics too long. And I can give you another example right here in South Carolina.
Oh, you talking about Joe Wilson?
No, I'm talking about Lindsey Graham.
Oh, you're not a Lindsey Graham fan?
I am not a Lindsey Graham fan. Well, I'm
on the fence.
I sometimes like Lindsey Graham, and sometimes I don't like Lindsey Graham. But over the years, I've come to the conclusion that he's Looney Grahams.
Yeah.
But he's like the Ted Kennedy of the Republican Party.
Yeah, what if Ted Kennedy was in the closet?
Well, no, basically. It's just he's got a district that's red, and it's always going to go his way.
Right.
And but yeah, his voting in favor of the infrastructure bill.
That was just him being suckered.
Yeah, well, that's my last straw with Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
I'm done with Lindsey Graham.
Well, I think his mistake is thinking that the other side's negotiating in good faith, and then after Biden, the senile, racist, misogynist, says the quiet part out loud, like, "Oh, we're not gonna do this unless we get the 3.5 trillion." Then why would you still go along with it? You know.
Well, because Lindsey Graham is what I call a political farmer.
Right.
So he licks his finger, sticks it up in the air to figure out which way the wind's blowing, and then checks the weather before he makes a decision on, you know.
I think whoever his secret gay lover is probably has his testicles up in a formaldehyde jar on a shelf somewhere, and it would not shock me if that person was a Democrat and is trying to secretly, you know, spirit him away, like basically lead him to the left by his Johnson. That would not shock me, because we all know the man talks like Mr. Garrison from South Park. You know, like, hey, I'm Lindsey Graham, I'm running for the U.S. Senate. And then I love how, like, when he said, like, when he was running for re-election, it was like, if I win, all white males clubs are going to do real good under me. Every South Carolinian was laughing at that, because like, yeah, I'll bet. You in the closet mofo. Oh my God, just come out. Look, we all know you're gay. All right, just come out. Come out of the closet, man. No one's going to think any different. I disagree with that. I will vote for him until he's as old and senile as Strom Thurmond. That's the way I look at him and Tim Scott, who's also probably in the closet. We can this is what America should be. These two hosts can disagree on things, and it's okay. Okay? But I'll tell you what we're not going to disagree on. That Texas abortion law is causing all kinds of crap.
Wow.
I know.
It's wild.
I don't even know if that's constitutional. Is it constitutional?
You know, I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah. Because we're both constitutional law scholars.
Yes, of course. I went to Facebook University. I don't know about you.
Well, I went to the Citadel, but I daydreamed through my con law class.
Well.
So I wasn't really paying attention. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I find it to be funny that Biden wants to punish Texas more than he wants to punish the Taliban. Mm-hmm. I find that
that is
very telling.
So
for the record, I'm pro-choice, but
yeah, well, I'm pro-life, so there's that. But no, I think abortion should be left up to the individual states.
Right.
I don't think there should be I don't think the federal government should have anything to do with it.
Well, that's the greatest danger to Roe v. Wade, is that it was decided improperly. Even pro-choice lawyers are like, yeah, that was decided improperly.
Yeah,
because
I totally agree with that.
You can't really do that.
And I mean, you know, so if Texas, the law in Texas doesn't make abortion illegal across the country.
Right.
You know,
this allows them to sue the abortion provider.
Right. Well, yeah, right. So I don't know. I don't understand the up in arms about it, you know, or to the drastic measures that they're going with it. I mean, I saw a political cartoon where they're like talking about rescuing women from the state of Texas like it was Afghanistan or something. I mean, you know, come on. Really?
What I found to be funny is I was going to call her Bette Midler, Joy Behar, tomato, potato. But at the end, it was like, oh, we should punish Texas, man, by withholding sex. First of all, Joy, no Texas man would ever have sex with you. Okay? It's just not going to happen. All right? And number two, are you saying abstinence is the best policy now? Is that a way to prevent pregnancy? I mean, this is what I get so annoyed with Democrats. It really is just like, I don't think they think everything through. And so they constantly contradict everything they claim to believe in. Like, don't put your laws on my body, but you have to get the vaccine.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, that's another thing. I don't know how this vaccine mandate is going to work. How's that going to work? That's going to get shot down by the courts immediately.
Yeah, well, the problem, though, with it is it's going to take time for the courts to shoot it down. So the damage from it's already is going to be done before it ever gets...
Well, I mean, if you put an injunction on it, they can't really do it, you know. And then you got to think about it like, as we were discussing before this, in Richland County, of course, they're trying to do a mask mandate.
Well, it's not Richland County, it's the city of Columbia.
Oh, the city of Columbia.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Steve Benjamin.
Right.
I wish you were running for another term so I can beat you in a mayoral election.
Yeah, interestingly, it would be interesting to know if he would have done this if he was running.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't at all.
You don't think so?
But the good news is nobody apparently cares.
I know. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to give the fire marshal any tips to where to go.
Yeah, where to go,
right, to enforce this thing. But I've been to several places that, like, nobody's wearing masks.
I walk in,
and actually, I'm okay with it.
I walk in maskless, and if they say something, I be like, hey, I'm vaccinated. If they still demand it, then all right, fine, whatever. But other than that, I see that little mask required thing, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I just walk in anyway.
Right.
You know, and I wave my penis around. Maskless, okay, I do not put the mask on was that too far? Is that the look you give me?
Maybe
sorry,
a little
everybody.
too far.
Sorry, everybody.
Rein you in here a little bit.
All right, fine. God, I won't curse about it, but F that, you know. But I don't wear a face diaper unless I absolutely have to.
Right.
You know, and then I'm tempted to just walk out and not patronize that establishment. I love that rebellious American spirit. Where it's like, oh, you want me to do this? I'm not doing it. Come make me do it.
That's right.
Come. I don't know what the Greek word for masks are, but like molon labe.
That sounds fine.
That's fine. Molon labe.
We'll go with
that. But screw your mask. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now for one of the most fun parts of our show. If you've seen it before, it's called Headlines, where I give Tony 4 fake headlines, and then one real one. Oh, excuse me, 4 real headlines and 1 fake one. It's the Modelo. Don't blame me for that. So 4 real headlines and 1 fake one, and Tony has to figure out which one's real. Are you ready, Tony?
Let's do it.
All right. Now the way we do this is I run through all of them, and then we run back to them again, and he decides. So there we go. Number 1. 5 zebras have been on the run in Maryland for a week. That's number 1.
Okay.
Spanish bishop resigns to pursue relationship with satanic-tinged erotic fiction author.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, news. All right. San Francisco to pay criminals not to shoot people.
Okay.
All right. Hear a duck swear like an Australian. That's one. The 4th one. And the final one is gender equality activist beheaded by Taliban. Dems blame GOP. Okay. Got them all?
I believe I do.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's go through them again.
5 zebras have been on the run in Maryland for a week.
5 zebras. How do zebras get into Maryland?
It's probably a very interesting story.
There's been a zoo breakout.
What do you think? Real or fake?
I'll go with real.
You got that one. I will toast you to that. I wish I was clever enough to make that up myself, but I was not. Number 2. Spanish bishop resigns to pursue relationship with satanic-tinged erotic fiction author.
Oh, jeez. That sounds like something you'd make up.
Nope, that one's real.
That's real?
That one's real.
Wow.
Yeah, and hey, I'll bet you that Sinks is going to be kinky. Oh my God, it's going to be nuts. They're going to do the kind of role playing that will make your soul.
So which one's the one you made up?
Well, no, we'll go through all of them.
Okay.
All right. San Francisco to pay criminals not to shoot people.
That's true.
Yes. See, he knew that part was true.
Right.
Think about that for a second. All right.
No hesitation either.
Yeah, no hesitation. Yeah, that sounds like something they do. Hear a duck swear like an Australian.
I can't think of anything that a duck would make that would sound like an Australian.
Okay.
Not true.
Nope, that was real.
That was real. Okay.
The one I made up, see, we got there eventually. The one I made up was gender equality activist beheaded by Taliban. Dems blame GOP. Now think about it. That one sounded true to him. I should tell you everything you need to know
crazy world
about the state of the world we're living in right now. So, since this lovely lady about to come up is your special lady, your significant other, I will allow you to, fiance, yes, mm-hmm. yes, I'm sorry. Sure. So, please introduce her.
All right. So, our guest today is Chauna Brown, and she is the owner and operator, proprietor of the Beltline Grill.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
And she's going to come out here, and which is where we're broadcasting this from. And so we're going to bring her on out here, and
we're gonna do it the SC Fireside Chats way.
There you go.
Which is do it. No. There we go. A little dance. Yeah. There you go. High five. Oh, well. Ow! That hurt. He'll get over it. He'll get over it. Let it go. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah, this goes in a loop. All right, so what's up, Chauna?
Hey.
What up?
Go Cox.
I know, right?
Day, huh?
So, I hear you have been looking into the history of the Beltline area.
I have. I went to court to meet a policeman on a different matter, nothing bad, but I had to wait for him in the actual courtroom in Forest Acres.
You sure it wasn't bad?
I'm positive, yeah.
Okay,
well,
good.
I mean, it was bad for I
It wasn't anything criminal.
didn't do anything criminal. Somebody did something criminal to me, right. And I had to report it. But anyway, the lady
I'm glad to hear that, and a little disappointed. So keep going.
But the lady said, "Well, why don't you wait in the courtroom," which was empty. But I got to walk around and see all these old historical photos of the history of Forest Acres, and it was very cool.
Cool.
And I went back and told Tony about it, and then he went and researched it at the library, and we found all these photographs of Beltline and the actual building we're sitting in, which it's been here since the 50s.
Really?
Yes. The photographs that we have, the cars are parked out front, and they're definitely from the 50s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, did you learn anything else about the history, or?
Well, I mean, this was a builder's warehouse back in the day. The coin laundry on Beltline over here was actually in this Bradley Plaza. There's a hair salon that's moved over here now, but it's on the other. It's all moved around, but it was all here. Gas was 30 cents a gallon.
Oh, wow.
Back then.
Right.
Yeah. The place across the street was a gas station. Some cool signage. Yeah.
I think you guys should let some of the drug dealers in the neighborhood know about the history of this neighborhood. Because when Live PD used to come around and chase people through, because I lived right down the street, 5 minutes away, and Live PD did run through my backyard one time. So I think they really need to know their history. I think that's important.
How so?
I don't know. People should know their history.
Okay. All right.
That's as far through as I thought that comment.
Okay. All right.
Tony, you take over the interviewing process. Okay.
Well, I mean, it is a unique neighborhood.
It is.
It is. And you told me not to market it like this, but we're in between a $18 salad and, what's going on across the street. So, yes.
That's good. Actually, so there's not going to be an $18 salad?
No.
Okay, good.
No, we're going to try to feature stuff for the working guys, people that are in a hurry, have an hour for lunch or less, grab and go, lunch specials, it'll be quick. I'm actually fashioning it after a place I work at in North Myrtle Beach. Very successful with lunch specials every day, or every Monday they have this, Tuesday this, Wednesday. So people know, we want to go to the Beltline Grill for meatloaf on Tuesday, or whatever.
That's a really good idea, actually. I think that's an excellent idea.
And we're going to open at 6 in the morning, earlier than a lot of places around. There's not a whole lot going on Beltline as far as food. I'm hoping that we can capture some of those early birds, guys that are in a hurry, ladies too, that are in a hurry for, they don't have time to socialize and this
right.
and that.
Just want to grab and go.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a good idea. There needs to be more of that no frills, you know what you get when you walk in kind of thing. It's a really good idea, I think. So breakfast and lunch is when you're going to be open?
Right now.
Okay.
I think we're going to be an evolution kind of place.
Good.
We're going to evolve.
Good. Take that, Richland County. You can't have this property, because that's obviously what they're trying to do, I think, personally. I don't know if y'all disagree with that, but I think they're trying to, I think they want the property. So, I mean, what do you think about all this?
I mean, I guess you would have to we'd have to go into the little background a little bit. But we've had she's had some struggles with the licensing and trying to get the place open with Richland County. Well, not so much Richland County, but Department of Revenue and SLED. And that's main reason is because of the revocation of the license when I had the place. And so they're basically trying to say that I'm trying to reopen the place under her name.
Right.
And which is not the case. I'm not an owner. I'm nowhere on the paper as being the owner. It's all hers.
Yeah.
And it's legit. It's completely all hers. And so.
So you're working for the business owner.
Yeah, she's the boss.
There you go.
Right.
Ooh.
And
sounds sexy.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if it's what you say that they want the property or.
Well, that was just my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, and I've heard other people say it's because I ran for county council and they're trying to punish me.
I think I personally think it was the sled agents. Her power trip. She could have told me the first day.
Yeah.
No, and been done with it. But she drug it out for 4.5 months. But the government has forced me to do things backwards. We fell out of the day that the ale house closed. We fell out of a zoning that they were grandfathered in on.
Right.
This is considered was considered a drinking establishment.
Right.
I had to revise my whole business model and tell them I was going to close at midnight to be considered a restaurant. And then, then SLED got involved with the Department of Revenue and, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's just been one struggle after the other. But they forced me to do it backwards. I wanted to reopen as a bar and then introduce food, get a grease trap for the city's pleasure.
Right.
But now we've just done it backwards.
See, my cousin and his wife dealt with something somewhat similar in Lexington where they always gave him problems. They always slow walked everything, trying to drive him out. Fortunately, my aunt owns the property, so they can't take it.
Right.
But it's just, I think the biggest problem in the state is just corruption, in whatever form it takes.
Sure.
Whether it's just some major conspiracy or it's just some bureaucrat off on a power trip.
And then we have people thinking, it's so easy to get a liquor license. No.
Yeah.
It's not. I've gotten criticized very heavily for letting this place go. This was their neighborhood bar. Well, guess what? I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I was trying to help save it.
Right.
But yeah, walk in my shoes.
Well, I know who those people probably are, and I judge them for that because
they want to help. They want to come together as a community and help. I'm like, well, if you know somebody at SLED or DOR or the city that can help us, help me.
If you know that a member of the political establishment, and you're such good buddies with them, that they'll walk this through quickly.
Right.
Like, yeah. I think, well, again, I know who it probably is, and I think I understand their delusions of grandeur. So we'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it at that. But so what?
I want to thank the people that have helped us, though. Yes.
Especially this guy. This guy right here.
Well, yes, of course. But we've had some help with just aesthetics and just actual physical help, and I really appreciate them, and they know who they are.
Would you like to name any of them?
Well, Al Bolin.
Bolin?
Michael McCarthy, Lorenzo Davis. He comes over and fixes things when Tony can't figure it out or we're going cross-eyed.
Right.
But I mean, that kind of stuff.
Shout out to those three gentlemen.
Well, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you.
Here, I'll do it for you. We love you. I'll do the kind of thing. Yeah. So anything else? Anything you want to comment on about what we talked about, or anything else you guys want to promote or talk about?
We'll be having a grand opening or a soft opening soon.
Mm-hmm.
Soon. So.
Probably. We're not going to give a specific date yet.
No, can't do that.
But know that it's coming out there, breakfast and lunch crowd, and they're going to kill it. They're going to kill this, right?
So what are you looking at for your signature dish?
Well, on the menu, I think that Tony's Italian beef is going to be pretty popular. Everywhere we've ever taken it, there's no leftovers. So
I'm interested in it.
Oh yeah.
I like the phrase Italian beef.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds spicy and sexy. So
yes. And then I have a meatloaf dish that I'm pretty happy with. I think that will sell on Tuesday. We're only going to have it on Tuesday. It's not going to be on the menu. It's going to be a special. Okay. But the Italian beef is going to be every day. We're maybe thinking about a pulled pork that just kind of happened on accident. The other night we're like, wow, that was good.
Yeah.
Not barbecue, pulled pork. So.
I could see myself coming here for breakfast. You know, once this thing finally gets taken off, and I can use both hands again. I could see myself coming for breakfast before I go in and work at my job, which is like Amazon, except they treat you like a human being. But if I have a good breakfast, I could see that being very good for my life.
I think breakfast is like the key point of your day.
Right.
Yeah. And did I mention we're open at 6?
Yes. Ooh, 6 o'clock. Well, I won't be here at 6.
Well, Columbia doesn't get really moving until 7. I've noticed that because I travel from Columbia to the beach a lot, and I'll need gasoline, and I'm like, where am I going to stop at?
Yeah.
Or, it's difficult to find things open 6 o'clock or even prior.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you do the right promotion, that'd be good. I think that'd be perfect. So I won't be here at 6, but I will be here for breakfast. I know that.
Well, breakfast all day, lunch all day, but breakfast all day. And if you want a hamburger at 8 o'clock, come on in. We're calling them the Moon Glow Burgers.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh. So I want y'all to wrap it up with anything you want to talk about. I will not make any sarcastic comments. I won't do. I'll try real hard.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, you don't believe me.
I don't believe
he knows me very well. He knows I'm not going to do that. So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we move on to what are the most illustrious parts of the show? You ready?
I don't have anything to add.
I think we're good.
I don't know.
I think we're good. Yeah.
I would like to thank you for allowing us to do our show from the Beltline Grill.
Exactly. This chick is the landlady.
Yeah.
She controls it now. So.
Right. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's end it with the Gamecocks.
Gamecocks.
I mean,
Gamecocks.
Like now we can do better. We can do better. Let's do it like they do it.
Okay.
Go
penises.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All
I'm sorry.
All right. One more time.
All right.
All right. Let me tell you how it's gonna work.
Okay.
I'm gonna say go, and you're all gonna yell cocks.
Okay.
Like, right? It's like a cheerleading.
Tomato, potato.
Right?
I get it. Let's do this.
Okay. All right. Go
Cocks.
That's better.
Go fight, win. We'll
That's
take that W today.
Gee.
All right. So.
Or the most famous Gamecock cheer, which is just.
Oh God! Another year of this. Jesus. Why do I hurt myself like this?
Y'all are editing.
Oh, because it's a family.
Yes. Yeah. It'll all be edited.
Yeah. He'll handle that. When we do the history part, he'll show pictures and stuff. But that's the only editing that we have in here. So, the most fun part, or one of them, is a segment besides the moment of inspiration, is who would win in a fight. So we take two political figures, and we decide who would win in a fight. And today, we're getting a little edgy, and we're going with Malcom X or Martin Luther King Jr. So,
am I supposed to guess, or is he supposed to guess?
Well, you go first because you're the guest.
Well, I mean, I think winning a fight. Okay, a fist fight, like not pulling out your guns, Okay, a fist fight.
Yeah, like a fist fight or like MMA or however you want to envision it. Yeah.
Well, I'm a bigger fan of Martin Luther King because he was for peace. Malcom X. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Martin Luther King. I think he could win a fist fight over, because I think the other one will pull out a gun and shoot him. That's
Malcom X was very skinny. He did not have a lot of muscles, I believe it's pronounced. So yeah. So Tony, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna go with Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Yep. And the reason being is because I think love, peace, wins out. I mean, that was the message of Martin Luther King.
Right.
You know, it was, and I feel that love always wins over hate, and righteousness always wins over power.
Right.
And those are the two main differences that I see between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So that I'm going to go with Martin.
Go with him, okay.
Yep.
Well, I am the local contrarian.
You are.
So I'll go for Malcolm X. But I will admit that the reason I'm saying that is because Malcolm X was like so angry. Like I feel like he would start crying as he started hitting someone because he's thinking about all the stuff he dealt with in his life. Like, why did you leave me, father? Or he would do something like that. But I want to point out that the reason that the Nation of Islam assassinated him is because he realized maybe MLK had a point. So that's the thought I want to leave it with, is that I think Malcolm X realized that maybe MLK had a point. You know, so I'm going to go with him, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I'm outvoted here. And so MLK wins this confrontation here on SC Fireside Chats.
There you go.
So, I would like to thank you, Chauna, you sexy lady, for being on here. Tony has good taste. I would like to also say this has been another amazing and incomparable episode of SC Fireside Chats. This is my also sexy host, Tony Spain. I'm Adam Cook, and we thank you for being here again. And Tony,
we
lead us out.
leave you with a moment of inspiration. See you next time.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. The nation sends its love and compassion to everybody who is here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.